forgiven in Jesus' name. Here we go. In Jesus' name. Every stronghold is broken. In Jesus' name. Captive go free. In Jesus' name. All things are possible. Yes, it's possible in Jesus' name. Said in Jesus' name. The enemy is scattered. Yes, oppression must cease. Jesus' name. Where 2 or 3 have gathered, God is with us. In Jesus' name. Call on him. Call on him. Oh, Jesus. He's forever the same. Jesus.
Trending music, culture, and conversation. FM 104, AM 1240, WAVN, The Trend.
Great, wonderful afternoon on this wonderful Wednesday. Listen, we have an amazing event right now that's taking place. If you're riding down the road, listen to FM 104, AM 1240, WAVN, The Trend, or you're watching us on Facebook. Let me tell you, we have so many amazing people from the city, the Shelby County of Memphis that cares about you. And you remember that Shelby County cares about you, because on today, we are so excited to have this event that we're going to address some of the issues. You know, the mantra is that we're trending the music, the culture, and the conversation. And this is one conversation in which our culture needs to have. And we're super excited to have so many people here at the table, as you can see. And maybe if you're riding down the road, you'll be able to hear all the amazing people that truly care about Shelby County. Why? Because Shelby County right now, you all, we are dealing with so many fraudulent deeds and filing, and a housing crisis in Shelby County is an all-time high. What do you mean, Telisa? There's so many people that is being taken advantage of because they just don't know. And so what we're going to do today, we're so grateful to have the Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris in with us on today, and Registrar of Ford Shalandra Y. Ford, because let me tell you, they are excited that local market conditions are not ideal to low and to moderate income buyers who are willing and able to purchase at this time. Our neighborhood, y'all, have become a community of renters. Affordability has taken a new meaning in the real estate market for Memphians. There is still a trust gap between potential buyers and sellers and real estate professionals. Abandoned properties are everywhere in our inner city, especially in the South Memphis and the North Memphis. How do we prevent these foreclosures now, for that the forbearance is over, the period is over, and how do we get in front of the potential downfall of home ownership in Memphis and surrounding areas? Well, we're here now to have a conversation about this. And so right now, I want to introduce each and every one of our panelists to have this conversation that's taking place right now in the studios of WAVN The Trend. Will you start off with us, President?
Thank you, and thank you for having me here to be a part of this discussion. My name is Wanda McGowan, and I am the president of the Memphis chapter of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And so just a little bit about myself. I am a real estate practitioner. I've been a real estate broker for 21 years, and I do focus basically in the Memphis and surrounding areas. And so currently in my role as president for the next year and 3 months, our goal is to continue to help the citizens here in the city of Memphis and surrounding areas to close the gap of the racial disparity in the home ownership rate between blacks and our other counterparts. And so that's a little bit about what I do. And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, President Wanda McGowan, for being here. Realtor Deborah Williams.
Thank you, Telisa, for having me. I am Deborah Williams. I'm currently the 2021 president of the Women's Council of Realtors. I'm also the co-founder and chief financial officer of Forces Heads Realty and Property Management. I've been serving residents since 2004 and doing property management since 2006.
Thank you so much for being here. Attorney Ursula Woods.
Hello to everyone, all of our listeners, as well as everyone on the panel today. I'm happy to be here and happy to be able to share with you guys. I am a real estate attorney. I am the CEO and founder of Preferred Title and Escrow, as well as the bankruptcy law firm, and I've been practicing for 23 years. And the housing crisis and deed fraud is very close to my heart, so I'm very thankful to you for bringing this topic to the forefront. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Jay Bailey.
You were trying to figure out what to call me.
Yes, you already know. You've been around this a while.
I'm Jay Bailey. I am the Chief Administrator for the Assessor of Property, and likewise a real estate professional. I'm a broker, member of NARAB, MAR, general contractor. I've been involved in the real estate profession for quite a while, even as a lawyer. And and thanks for having me here.
Thank you for being here. Our amazing assessor, Melvin Burgess.
Thank you, Telisa Frank. It's good to be here. Of course, and I saw your face, we go back a long way. It's from Juneteenth when I was on the county commission.
Yes.
But I'm Melvin Burgess, your Shelby County Assessor of Property, formerly County Commissioner, District 2, Position 2, but now it's District 7, as well as retired Chief Internal Auditor for the Shelby County Schools. But I'm glad to be here. There are a lot of issues. I know we were down to state maybe about a week ago that needs to be addressed, and I think that's a start, and thank you for bringing us together to talk about this fraud with deeds and any other issues that it may have.
Thank you so much, Assessor. Charlie Caswell, Executive Director.
I'm Charlie Caswell, Executive Director of Legacy of Legend CDC, organization nonprofit based in the Fraser community with a focus on building trauma-informed and trauma-responsive community. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. Cheryl Muhammad, Realtor.
Cheryl Muhammad, broker and owner of Assured Real Estate Services, immediate past president of NARAB, and NARAB board member on the national side. And I'm a great advocate for the low to moderate income buyers.
Thank you so much. Shelby County School Board, the real Reverend Althea Green.
Good evening. I am the real Reverend Al Green, known to many as Dr. Althea Green. I am Vice Chair of the Shelby County School Board, a retired educator of 38 years with Memphis City and Shelby County, senior pastor real life for 18 years. Honored to be here today to share with so many awesome and dynamic people across Memphis and Shelby County. Thank you, Telisa.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Eddie Jones.
Well, thank you, Telisa. Glad to be here. So I'm Eddie Jones, past chairman of the Shelby County Board of Commissioners, also president of the National Association of Black County Elected Officials. So I represent a lot of elected officials across the country. Also, I'm employed with the City of Memphis Code Enforcement Department. So a lot of the conversation that we are going to hear today, I can bring more light as to what it means to blight in our city and county. And so just proud to be here and to share the knowledge that I have.
Thank you so much. Trustee Regina Newman.
Thank you for inviting me, and appreciate the Register putting this together. It's extremely important. I'm Regina Morrison Newman. I'm your Shelby County trustee, and besides being the banker for Shelby County and collecting property taxes, our goal is to keep you in your house. And so the issues of fraudulent deeds and fraudulent filings at the Registrar's office are extremely important. Been an attorney for 25 years. So those are important to the community and important to me, and the financial health of every Shelby County is important to Shelby County. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Register of Deeds, Ms. Shalandra Y. Ford.
Hello, everyone. I am the Register Shalandra Y. Ford, Shelby County Register of Deeds. And just a little about the Registrar's office. I am actually the elected record keeper for Shelby County, and that involves tax liens, property taxes, mortgage, bankruptcy documents, marriage settlements, power of attorney, you name it. Again, I am the legal record keeper for all of Shelby County.
All right, I am super excited to have this amazing young man reintroduce himself to Shelby County, because you are the face of Shelby County, our mayor.
All right, well, I'm really pleased to be here. Lee Harris on behalf of Shelby County, and particularly enthusiastic about this forum that's been convened by Ms. Ford. And thank you, Ms. Franklin, for facilitating this conversation. It's an important conversation. It also gives us an opportunity to showcase the work of the really incredible elected officials in Shelby County that I'm honored to be able to work with. You see a lot of the countywide elected officials here represented today, and also our county commission and the chairman emeritus, Commissioner Jones here. But home ownership is important to all of us, particularly all of us understand its importance to minority communities, because it's one of the ways we're going to build wealth. It's one of the ways we're going to have a legacy to pass that legacy on to the next generation, and make sure it's the item that keeps on giving in a lot of ways, because we know that you'll see appreciation and wealth building through home ownership. But we've got to protect it. And so that's why Ms. Ford's call to action is so important. So pleased to be here and pleased to be part of the conversation. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Mayor. For many of y'all that's watching on Facebook, or you may be saying they're sitting with no mask on. Well, some have masks, some have not. But we're super excited that we all are fully vaccinated. And that's why we wanted to all come together, vaccinated individuals, to talk about this conversation that is much needed in our community. And so for you all that's probably wondering, we're all vaccinated. And we definitely, I suggest that if you have not been vaccinated, help us make sure that we can get all the way back to normal and get vaccinated, all right? Well, let's have this conversation. I want to address the first question, because I know when things going right or they're going wrong, they gonna always say, it's the mayor's fault. It's the mayor's fault, right? Because regardless of what's going on, it's the mayor's fault. But let me tell you, the mayor is one individual that's doing amazing things. And one thing I believe, and I've seen with Mayor Lee Harris, he's a man of his word, or a man of integrity, and a man that leads. And some things, he just can't do. So we're just going to ask him a few of the questions on today, because our city, our county is definitely, we're at a crisis, but we're super excited. We have the right people in the right administration that's doing the great things. So, Mayor, has your administration been made aware of the large number of out-of-town investors buying up large blocks of properties in Memphis and Shelby County?
No, I think that's a great question, and that's a really important issue that lots of folks are talking about. And so there's no doubt about it. We hear of it all the time. We hear about it particularly in the Fraser area. It's been going on in Fraser for a very long time, but it's not just Fraser. It's also in South Memphis and also in Orange Mound. I think one of the reasons why we see so many out-of-town investors is because they realize the potential of our neighborhoods, particularly the neighborhoods in our historic core. I mean, we've got some great neighborhoods that are really, really on the cusp of realizing their potential, and we've got lots of great neighborhoods in Memphis and Shelby County that are strategically located. I mean, I know Assessor Burgess has worked for many years on really realizing the potential of the Orange Mound community. So there we have one of the most historic African-American communities in the country. It's a community that sits as a gateway between downtown, midtown, and East Memphis and the University of Memphis area. And so the out-of-town investors realize that. They realize what we got. And they want to get it themselves. And so one of the things we have to do is make sure that we spread the message to our homeowners, right? The folks who are homegrown, who've been devoted to this community for a long time, who have a long-term commitment to the community, who've been waiting to see this community really realize its full potential, that we've got to give them a message of hold on, that they can, that they have worked really hard to be property owners, and that is a place where they're going to really hold a lot of their wealth, and they need to hold on and make sure they pass that investment, that asset to their children, and on and on, and that they stay. So that's one of the things we've got to try to spread around this community, because there are a lot of valuable pieces of property and a lot of really great neighborhoods that are really right on the cusp of seeing their full potential.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Mayor, let's keep you going, because you're answering these questions that our community wants to have. Some economics indicate that there may be a housing shortage in Memphis and Shelby County in the near future. Is the mayor's office prepared to address these shortages?
So on the Shelby County side, we don't do quite as much development as on the city side. But what we are prepared to do is partner with a lot of CDCs that are out there that are doing really incredible work for housing development, and a lot of the partners locally. So I can think of United Housing, Fraser CDC, and even small nonprofits like Habitat for Humanity that are really bringing new product to market. And so our role is to help them. We've been getting federal resources over the last couple years. And so a lot of those federal resources will go to help those nonprofits to continue to do the great work that they're doing. And I should just say, when it comes to housing shortages in Shelby County, what we really have is a quality housing problem, because there's a lot of housing in Shelby County, and a lot of it is relatively inexpensive. But we don't have new product in a lot of neighborhoods. We don't have new retail coming into neighborhoods. And so we don't have that kind of investment. It's really the quality of product coming to the various neighborhoods, and we've got to do a better job of encouraging that. This last go around with the ARPA funding, there's a big push on the city side to do investments in grocery stores. And so we've been able to match that on the county side. And so we're hopeful that we'll find a grocery store to come into this marketplace, because we saw the butcher shop close in North, and we saw the butcher shop close in South. Mm-hmm. And so those were grocery store assets that closed down because of the pandemic largely. And so now all of us have to work hard to go back in and see if we can find a grocery store to take the place of those folks that exited the market during the pandemic. So I said a whole lot of stuff. I'm sure these folks here are happy to talk about any of those points, but this question is well received.
With all the incentives going to large companies through pallets, and how can local government assist home buyers in a similar manner, Mayor?
So that's a good issue. I don't know if I have the answer to that right now, but I think what this is pointing to is we need an incentive for home ownership. Mm-hmm. And so we need, and other communities have done things like that. And we have some down payment assistance programs, but not enough, right? Not enough. So we've got on the county side some low interest down payment assistance programs out of our housing office. But we're not doing enough to encourage people to move in our historic neighborhoods. And that's what it would take, is down payment assistance programs would work best. In terms of pilots for the home builders, you know, I'm not really for pilots, so I may be the last elected official that's not a fan of pilots. So I think that's true. That's true. So Commissioner Jones and I may be among the last. We're probably not big fans of the whole pilot situation. I just tend to believe everybody should pay taxes. Everybody should pay their fair share, and pilots kind of set up a different level of taxation depending on who you are, and it's pretty hard to get that right. But I'm all for down payment assistance programs, incentivizing people to move in the neighborhoods, teachers, cops, whatever the case may be, to get folks to move into our historic core.
So you said incentives. So what incentives has been put in place to ensure that these out-of-state investors do not become slumlords in our community?
So we in the past, one thing we have tried is a register all of the folks that have an investment interest in various homes, because once you have a huge number of out-of-town investors, it's pretty hard to chase them down for the upkeep. Mm-hmm. So you can staple a citation to their door, and you can do all kinds of things, and ultimately, it's hard to chase down the bank, because sometimes if the property may fall in the hands of the bank, and even chasing the bank down to do the kind of maintenance that's required to keep the neighborhoods up is a really, really tough puzzle. And so one of the things we've got to do a better job of is recording contact information, recording how to find folks who are the true owners of these various properties as they go through the foreclosure process. And so the city's taken the lead historically on creating that database, and and that's really what we need to do is better ability to find these individuals and hold them accountable when they're not maintaining their property because they're out of state.
Absolutely. I'm going to let you rest for a minute, Mr. Mayor, but you're so amazing. And so I really want to talk about, ask the question, because now there has been a big concern of somebody stealing the deed to my home. So I'm living in my home, and next thing I know, somebody is knocking on the door. And so I'm going to ask the attorney, Ursula Woods. She can probably answer this best. Can someone steal the deed to my house?
Yes, unfortunately, that is a possibility, and to no fault of Shalandra Ford, she is the receiver of documents that need to be recorded, but unfortunately, she is not the police of those documents in terms of whether someone is stealing your home. So the way that an individual gets their home stolen is someone signs a document fraudulently that states that they are who you are, which is the owner of the property. They then have someone to notarize that document, which is also another fraudster. Then they take that document and they record it in the registrar's office, and that's what's required to transfer title from one individual to another. One of the questions that I always get is, how does someone get a hold of your title? Well, title to a home is a physical document. However, you do not have to have that physical document in your possession to transfer title to another person. So because of that, unfortunately, fraud has occurred across the country, and it is now, of course, in Memphis, Tennessee.
And so you're saying that it can happen. So what can we do to protect us against title fraud?
One of the things that I suggest for everyone to do is remain vigilant. If you have rental properties, if you have a home, and especially if you have not visited that home in a while. So we have relatives who may have passed away, or we may have inherited a home along with 10 other siblings, and you may not get out to that house, and then it begins to become dilapidated, and before you know it, the county, the city is sending you notices. Well, those particular houses are prime for fraud because the thieves believe that no one lives there, no one cares, and so then that's how majority, not all, but that's how majority of the homes have been transferred when they have been abandoned. But there have been individuals who actually live in those homes. So if you see someone knocking on the door, if you have someone that is snooping around trying to look in, if you see that your house is listed on Craigslist, it is now time to officially give an attorney a call and definitely call the non-emergency number for the police to report the crime.
So would that be considered deed fraud? Is that a federal crime?
It is a crime. It is not a federal crime, but Shalandra Ford has been working hard along with Melvin Burgess, I'm pretty sure some others that I don't want to not name, and trying to get stiffer penalties for the crime itself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Attorney Ursula Woods. One thing about Register Shalandra wife Ford's office, there is a change that's trying to be amended so these people can be held accountable. And so for more of that information, just remember it's amendment to Tennessee Code and 39171116, because people are really working hard to protect Shelby County. And when we say, do Shelby County cares, Shelby County really cares. And so Register of Deeds Shalandra Y. Ford has a free fraud alert. So they're sounding the alarm. So you no longer silent about these things. So Register Ford, will you share more about that for us?
Yes, sure. Right now, the Shelby County Registrar's Office have initiated a free fraud alert program for all of Shelby County citizens. And again, this program is free, no cost, and it's simple as logging on to our website, which is register.shelby.tn.us, and sign up for our program. And this is a monitoring system that allows your home to be monitored. So if anyone tries to obtain any pertinent information, it will quickly notify you. And this is just one piece that we do have in place at the Register of Deeds office.
And one thing about the Register of Deeds office, kind of tell what your role is, Register, because many people have no clue of how important your office is and what your office does, not only to make sure our property is safe, but also you have an ability to make sure money is going back into Shelby County. So we as Shelby Countyans can actually have that extra money with things for the mayor and whomever to make sure all the things that we need is done. So kind of, because I mean, how much money have you given back this year?
This year it's probably been about $2 million, over $2 million.
Mm-hmm. Look, the mayor said yes.
And that's just the beginning. Again, we're as newly elected elected official. Me and my team are just trying to come up with something, some innovative changes or any innovative processes to bring revenue, more revenue to Shelby County as a whole. And also, we are trying to be a voice. We are a voice for Shelby County, meaning we do offer community service. This year, or since 2018, my office is out in different communities. We're involved heavily in the communities. This year we did African April. We've done so many events. I think
you're
So we're kind of everywhere,
Yeah.
and we're just sounding the alarm. We want to educate our citizens of what the Shelby County Registrar's Office does.
And you guys do so much great work. Thank you so much. Thank you
you.
so much. Make sure you all go ahead and jot this number down. We're going to open the phone lines shortly. 901-295-9223. Again, that number is 901-295-9223. So when you're thinking about registrar or maybe Assessor Burgess, what are some of the ways that people can protect their title from fraud? Because so many things are happening in our community, and we just need everybody to know.
Thank you. That's a great question. But I want people to know I'm the assessor of property. And what that means is I'm not the one that, decides what your assessment is. That is controlled by the state. I just carry it out here for West Tennessee because that's my duty and that's what I was elected to do. However, one thing that we can do, like Shalandra and I have done, we've collaborated together. When someone comes in my office and asking about some deed information, I take care of it right away. When I say take care of it, I get her people on the phone. That's what I do, because what I don't like is I don't feel that we do, as elected officials, and some of us here, I'm not putting you on the spot, do we do enough to educate our constituents? Mm-hmm. Do we do enough to where they can understand? If I send you out an assessment and you disagree, I want you to come to our office and we can fix it. And that's what we offer during the reappraisal time. But a lot of people don't know that some of the people here who do know, who benefit from it, and who have large homes, corporations, whatever, where they hire what you call appeal attorneys to come in and fight it for them, where the average Joe Blow don't have an appeal attorney. But I have put out what you can do as the residential homeowner, because as of now, the residential homeowner is taking the burden. No matter what, the burden is on the residential homeowner's back. But getting back, Shalandra and I have, I'm working close with her. I'm everywhere she goes, I go, and we try to work together, and we try to work in collaboration, because I value people. Our motto is we value people over land. Mm-hmm. So, I just want to continue that relationship with her to make sure that our constituents understand what their rights are and what we can do to assist them.
I love it. I love it. Mayor, I got to come back to our amazing mayor, y'all, the amazing mayor of Shelby County, Mayor Lee Harris. There are some legal restrictions on keeping out-of-state investors from buying properties in Memphis and Shelby County. Has there been any consideration in blocking off plots of land in Shelby County, specifically to the low to moderate income families that has become homeowners?
So that's a good question. So the Shelby County Land Bank, and the trustee can comment on this process as well, we end up coming into contact with many properties that are going through the various foreclosure process for lack of payment on our taxes and so forth. And we have tried to be as innovative as possible to make sure those properties end up in the hands of folks who are going to be long-term homeowners. Very recently, in fact, the County Commission approved the transfer of over 70 or so properties to a few nonprofit CDCs. The Works, which is a nonprofit that operates both in North and in South, transferred to them. Before that, we had put together a package of about 150 properties, mostly in Smoky City and North Shelby County, to transfer to the Smoky City Klondike CDC. And again, with the purpose of is trying to make sure those properties stay in the hands of the community or folks in the community that are rooted there, and that ultimately those that are committed to the community, like the low and moderate income families, have an opportunity to get those properties as opposed to out-of-town investors. So we continue to innovate, continue to look for partners that we can transfer large numbers of properties to, and so we can keep these properties in the hands of folks who are in town.
Yes.
And we continue to work on that. Thanks.
Awesome. And so I'm going to address this question to Charlie Caswell, because he talked about the community. And I know one thing about you, you're a community advocate, making sure the people, especially in the North Memphis area, have a voice at the table. What is your organization doing to make sure that we are enforcing and we're encouraging getting the information out? Because we all know that we're dealing with certain people with certain social economics. They may not get the information and obtain it and understand it. And so what are you doing in your organization to make sure those people get that information so that these investors won't just take their houses?
Right. I think in being a fighter for a long time in the Fraser community, many people asked a long time ago, why do you fight so hard for this community? And my family come out of Dixon Home Projects. We moved into Fraser when I was 15 years old. I see the value. I see what others outsiders see in this community. That's why, as an organization, the 3 V's is our motto: be visible, vocal, and valuable in your community. We are intentional about getting that type of information out there. I said it to so many times over the years that when you started to see the bike lanes coming into Fraser, I said it may not be for us now, but something is coming. That's why this will be the first on this era that we had a major property in our community. I was formerly the pastor of Union Grove Church, and thank you, Miss Ursula Woods. I just closed on that property because we didn't wait to China or India or somebody to come in and hold that property hostage in our community, but it will become a performing arts center and something that the community can grab hold of. So we're not just talking about what the issues are, we're taking actions to do something to sustain our community. So we want that to be a model for other communities that don't wait and talk about people coming in and buying it. Come together, and churches like Impact Church and Pursuit of God has supported us to make this deal happen.
Thank you so much for your commitment to the community, Charlie Caswell. Commissioner Jones, I asked a question and Assessor Burgess answered, but I want you to kind of piggyback on it because you know about the code enforcement and then you also sit on the commission. So what are other ways that you feel like we as a people can protect our property from this fraud?
Well, the best way that I think that we can do this is we have to take action. Mm-hmm. We can't sit idly by, all of us sitting at this table, knowing that it's happening and do nothing. And so when our constituents want to point the finger, they can say, hey, you knew. Mm-hmm. What did you do? So we have to take some actions right now, because I see it on a daily basis in code enforcement, especially with these out-of-town owners. And here's what I mean. I got one guy, at one point he was living in Australia, bought up a lot of property, not doing anything with it. Then we came up, okay, now you got to have a fiscal agent. You got the agent now. But the agent lives in New York. Now, in code enforcement, when we send out our letters and notification, okay, we're getting ready to put this property in NPA. That's the Neighborhood Preservation Act. That's when the city sues you, hey, you're going to do something with this property. So what I see on a daily basis, well, and back to Ms. Woods and what she was saying, now the agent quick claims it back to the original owner. Then they know our processes. So in code enforcement, we're trying to get you in court, and then now it's time to get that person, and quick claim it back to that person. So we got to do some innovative things to kind of stop that, because it's going to happen over and over and over again, because they know our laws, what we're doing, how we're doing it, our policies, and they're taking advantage of it and actually not doing anything with the property. So that is why our community stays so blighted. And you got a lot of local owners. I prefer, as a commissioner, sell it to people that live here. At least you have the ability to hold them accountable for not taking action, and you don't have to worry about all of this transferring back and forth. So if I can buy it through the land bank, buy it cheap, create me a portfolio, but I'm way somewhere else, I guarantee you the pictures that they probably have on the properties is not the actual properties themselves. So, yes, and that goes on a lot. So this is a real serious conversation that I don't think needs to end today.
Absolutely.
I think with all of us in this room, we need to come up with some innovative ways to truly protect the citizens in Shelby County.
Absolutely. And this question is for Commissioner Green. When you're saying we want to protect the Shelby County, do all this have some bearings on our children? Because I know you represent the children on the school board. And so if their parents don't have a place to live because the rent is more than what they make on their regular job, how is it going to affect our children? And then when our children get older, will there be any homes for them to purchase? And would that be a deterrent them coming back to Memphis to live?
Absolutely. Great question. I want to say as a district, we are committed to making sure that our students have a place to sleep at night. And so we have received a number of grants through the homeless program. We work to make sure they have a place to live, but when those 2 or 3 days are up, we work as a district and people think, oh, you just educate children. No, we educate parents too, because we provide an opportunity to point them in the right direction to resources to help them. And so as we look at the colleges now that are coming in, giving our children full scholarships, full rides, we're talking about Jackson State, Tennessee State, and now UT Knoxville. And when I think about our students leaving and going to college, we want them to come back, to give back to our community. We want them to come back to Memphis, but we have to have something for them to come back to. Absolutely. So as we are planning, yes, we want to have property for them to buy. And so I think as a district, as we are hosting parent summits across the district, as we're talking about the ESSER dollars, it's an opportunity for us as a district to have this conversation and educate our parents about properties. Because so many of our parents don't know. And they will end up losing property. And when parents die and property is passed down, we see generations lose the family house because I just didn't know I needed to pay taxes, or I didn't know that it was 5 names instead of 1. So it's an opportunity for everybody at the table to share in this conversation to make sure that we are educating people regardless. I mean, I'm responsible for District 2, but as a faith-based leader, I'm responsible for people, period, across this city. And I think that's the attitude that we will have to take. We're responsible for the village, so we're responsible for getting this message out and making sure that we are educating the whole child, the whole parent, and the community.
Thank you for all that you do. Trustee Newman, do you have any programs helping the citizens even to stay in their homes? Because they've gotten in financial trouble. What can they do? What programs do you have for them to stay in their homes?
Absolutely. One of the goals that we've had is trying to keep people in their homes. If I don't have to put a property in tax sale, then an out-of-town investor is not going to get it, or it doesn't end up in the land bank where an out-of-town investor gets it. So if I can keep mom and dad in their house, or their children or their grandchildren in their house. So we have payment plans. If you get in trouble on your taxes, or even if you were thinking you might, call us, get a payment plan. We've signed more payment plans than ever before, while we're making more money on tax sales than ever before. So it's a win-win situation. So I don't want your house. The county doesn't want your house. We want you to stay in your house. And 2 years ago, we got a couple of grants. We opened the Greater Memphis Financial Empowerment Center. The Empowerment Center is free financial counseling for anybody in Shelby County. Anybody. No income range, no age range, no nothing. You live in Shelby County, you can get free counseling. It's not a workshop, it's not a seminar. I tell people it's kind of like Weight Watchers. You get somebody assigned to you and you call them whenever you need to, and you can come for a year, you can come for a month, you can call them once a week, you can call them 3 times a day. You get a counselor and they help you through your situation. And that's your credit, your savings, your debt, everything. And in the first 2 years, our clients have eliminated over $1 million in non-mortgage debt.
Wow.
So that is a big plus for the community. Davidson County's had one for about a decade, and it's done really, really good work, and we have a much greater potential here to impact our community. So the other thing that this center does, and it's gmfec.org, but the other thing that this center does is serve as a resource center. So let's say you get your credit straight, or you get some savings and you want to buy a house. So we can hook you up with United Housing or anybody else in the community. We can hook you up with whatever other, it's a United Way program, and it's sponsored by Shelby County.
Shelby County cares about us, right? Shelby County cares. Yes, they do. Shelby County cares. A question for one of our realtors. How can people, because they say it's a shortage of homes, right? And so you guys know the market. What can people do now if they know that they're wanting to purchase a home? Because we don't want all these real estate out-of-town investors to buy up all their homes, and now the local people, Shelby County, don't have their homes. One of our realtors can answer that question. All right, Ms. Muhammad.
Say thanks to the mayor for giving those properties to the work and other organizations, because they can actually rehab those homes and put them back on at an affordable amount for someone to purchase, not to rent, because we are a community of renters now. We don't need any more of those. So if they could, rehab them, that would be great. Thank you. That's a great, great, great start. I wanted to tell the mayor that. You can go ahead.
We love the mayor. We love the mayor. Come on, y'all. Give us some hearts. We love the mayor. Yes. So we want to make sure the people that want to have a desire to purchase a home. I've been told the housing market is crazy. There's not a lot of houses out there because all these real estate investors are purchasing all the homes. What can an individual do now to make sure they're able to buy homes?
In this market that we're currently experiencing, it is definitely a seller's market. So the old traditional market of asking the seller for 3% closing costs, 4%, 6%, those days are gone. So now the average homeowner needs to save. You have to save your money or maybe pull from your 401k, but you have to have your own reserves for your closing costs and your down payment. So that's what I would advise any homeowner who's thinking about buying a home to go ahead and start saving. Because there's not a lot of programs out there. Now, we do have the THDA, Shelby County, and the City of Memphis, which while I'm on that, I feel like they need to amend some of their rules to adjust to the market that we're in. We're in a market where we're dealing with appraisal gaps. If you're dealing with an appraisal gap, those programs will not allow you to get down payment assistance, some of them. So we need to adjust those programs to accommodate the current market that we're dealing with.
Thank you so much. And so let's ask President Wanda, I know you do a lot of teaching and educating for what NARAB and your personal business. So maybe some of these people have a desire, but they have some challenges right now. And so what can they do? What is your opinion of people need to do to get in place? Because I know you do a lot of teaching and training on that.
Most definitely. The home buyer education is where they start. And one of the things that I do partner with Fraser CDC and assist them every month with the home buyer education to get buyers ready for home ownership. And so that's one thing. And also what I do, just me personally, when I work with families to get them ready, is to learn to budget, understand the market that you're in. Everybody want to get advice. Like I tell everybody, when it comes to taxes, I'm gonna get my advice from my tax accountant. I don't go to my friends and all these different people, and then they're like, well, I want to offer $10,000 less. I want them to understand what market you're working with, what it is that you need to do so that you can be ready to purchase a home.
Thank you so much. Let me ask Mr. Mayor, our amazing mayor. Mayor, in your opinion, what can people do now to be an assistance to you? We always want to say, well, the mayor needs to do this, the mayor needs to do that. So I'm asking you, what do we need to do to help you, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I think that these kind of conversations are really instructive. The feedback on what's happening in the community, the perspectives that are being shared are really critically important. So I just heard from a real estate agent about the down payment assistance program, and I took a note, and we're going to go back to the lab and work on it, because she's right. Our down payment assistance program right now, even though we just did some reform, so we lowered the interest rate to be more in tune with the market because market rates are lower, and we lengthened the repayment period. But there's still more we could do. She talked about the gap and so forth, and we need to turn more of our down payment assistance loans into just straight out grants. And so we've got to try to figure out how to do that. So that's an important reform. Trustee Newman has been really watching the tax relief programs that have been present for a while. And they've been helping a lot of vulnerable populations. And so she put together a program to expand the number of tax relief opportunities that are going to be out there in Shelby County. But again, that's not something that we would otherwise know until somebody says something and talks about that opportunity. So I also hope there's time to talk more about that, because that's going to come down the pike here soon, and that's going to bring tax relief, property tax relief, to hundreds, maybe even more families in Shelby County very, very soon. And that's because, again, somebody close to the ground, somebody watching what's going on, is able to give voice to what they're seeing and what we might do to do better. And so I think it's just this. I think this is the kind of thing that's helpful to Shelby County and helpful to me. These kind of conversations, people tuning in, whether they contact us here or later, if they see us out somewhere, pull us by the coat and let us know what you're hearing. Let us know what your experiences are, and let us know what we can do to make Shelby County the place we all want to see it become.
I told y'all Shelby County cares. Don't y'all play? Shelby County cares. And so, Trustee Newman, this question is for you because we have so much, and I know the mayor touched on it about our property tax relief. Just the county just doubled it. Kind of talk about that. Help us out.
Absolutely. So the state has a tax relief program that's administered by the trustee, and it's for low-income seniors, low-income disabled people, and disabled veterans who don't have an income limit, but and the spouses of or widows or widowers of veterans killed in action. So every year it helps about over 8,000 people. But I've been asking for a while, as Commissioner Jones that the county match this money, so that if the state pays $300 on your taxes, could the county kick in an extra $300? And so on Monday night, thanks, the county commission funded a matching program for the state tax relief.
Shelby County, y'all.
With the support of the mayor.
Yes.
And so we're very, very pleased. The deadline for those applications, and the application deadline every year is first week of April. And this is for the 2021 tax year, but I'm going to keep bugging them about 22 and thereafter. For the 2021 tax year, please get your applications in. All the information. If you got a property tax bill, you got a brochure that says what the criteria are for tax relief this year from the state. So please check it out, apply, talk to our office, 222-0200, and when the state money comes in, you're going to get a kick in from Shelby County too.
I love it. Thank you, Trustee Newman. You are listening or watching Shelby County Register Community Awareness Forum, and we're super excited. The phone lines are open, 901-295-9223. We have a caller on the line. Caller, you are live on the air. Caller, you are live on the air.
Thank you. Good afternoon to the panel. Good afternoon to Mayor Lee Harris.
Good afternoon to you. Yes, ma'am. Can you talk up a little louder? We want all of our panelists to hear you so they can address your question.
Thank you. My name is Mayola Anderson Cox. I'm a 78-year-old resident here at Magnolia Terrace. I would like to ask the mayor, Mayor Lee Harris, and the panel. I've come into some good trouble here, like my friend John Lewis. I've been threatened to get put out of here. I've been acting as an advocate for the seniors. We have two people who is operating Magnolia Terrace and Latham Terrace. If you pull up the reviews on both, you will see that everything I've written letters to the mayor and Easter Thomas. We have had no results they have not complied with CDC. The place is still the health department promised to come out. They never did. Code enforcement has not been back. They put 10, they had They couldn't catch up with the resident manager here, so they have 10 violations, probably more than that. The structure of the building is in bad shape. The carpet is dirty. Most of the people, we don't even really know who run this building, because one while they had put signs out like we're in prison, no guns and cameras. There are no cameras here. There are no generators here. And the lights recently got turned on because I kept calling citizen council. They had been out for 4 years. Some of the people here are scared to talk. And this kind of alarms me because they shouldn't have to go through this. They paid their dues. They have actually turned Magnolia Terrace at 669 North 3rd Street into 3 things: nursing home, halfway house, and maybe some other stuff. That's okay because I love my people. I have been feeding people, and I have been threatened to get put out. Matter of fact, I have been threatened by the manager downstairs who ran up on me. There should be a police report in regards to her coming up on the spring on me. And so, however, if somebody would just investigate this place and let these people talk, tell them don't be scared to talk and they ain't gonna get put out. I've gone to meetings at Housing Authority, 700 items, nothing, no results. I've been here 7 years, and I've seen exploiters. Go ahead, baby.
Yes, ma'am. So we're gonna let the mayor address that issue because the calls are coming in and we want to be low of time. But we thank God for you, 78 years young, and just know that we on this panel care about your concerns. And I've seen personally with my own 4 eyes that the mayor has jotted down some notes. So that means that I know that he really cares. Mr. Mayor, do you want to address anything now? You want to?
Yeah, I thanks for your call. I'm sorry that all of this is happening to you. I did jot down some notes, and I do have the address. It sounds like a lot of the issues are code enforcement, and so we'll be passing this along. The county does a lot less in terms of code enforcement than some of the municipalities, but that doesn't mean we can't try to make the right connection and try to get you some help. So I did jot down some notes. We do have a commissioner here who's also an expert on all of these issues, and so I'll be conferring with him. But we thank you for your calling in and for paying attention here and to making sure that we keep our standards high here with respect to what's happening on North 3rd. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. And ma'am, if you would, tomorrow, call the studio, call the station, and give us your name and contact information, and we'll pass it on unto the mayor and, of course, Commissioner Jones. Well, I tell y'all, we're going to take a break, and this conversation is much needed in our community, and so we definitely appreciate you. The phone lines are open. We're going to continue to take phone calls and address many of the issues that you have concern, but we definitely want to make sure that we're continuing addressing and answering the questions about our residents and making sure that we have homes and making sure that our children have homes. We need to have these conversations and make sure we have the information in which we need it. All right, y'all. I'm your girl, Telisa Franklin. You're listening to The Trend, where we definitely trending the music, the culture, and the conversations. We'll be right back after this with more on this
Shelby
panel.
County, I am your Register of Deeds, Shalandra Y. Ford. I'm here today to tell you about a free fraud alert program that is offered in its complimentary service of Shelby County Registrar's Office. To register,